Good day, I'm Lisa Rowan. This is your JIS News for Wednesday, November 6, 2024. Preliminary figures on the damage caused by Tropical Storm Raphael is projected between $500 million and $1 billion. Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness says a more definitive figure will be provided after today's assessment by the National Works Agency, NWA. He was speaking earlier today at the weekly post-cabinet press briefing. As chairman of the National Disaster Risk Management Council, Dr. Holness assures that the country is in a better position to respond to natural disasters now than in previous years.
We have a multi-layered disaster risk response mechanism, which we didn't have 5 years or so ago. Jamaica is at the stage where instead of borrowing to finance, what we do is we now set aside from the budget to be able to finance these things.
Dr. Holness says it is likely that the government will be able to fund the cost of the damage, adding that additional funding can be accessed if the amount reaches the threshold criteria under the Caribbean Catastrophe Risk Insurance Facility. As a result of Tropical Storm Raphael, the NWA is reporting breakaways in Mount Prospect, Mount Airy, and Golden Spring in St. Andrew, as well as landslides in sections of St. Catherine and St. Thomas. Flooding is also being reported in Stony Hill to Toms River in St. Andrew, Chesterfield Drive in Kingston, Bogwalker Gorge and Sligoville in St. Catherine, between Lloyds and Low Mountain in St. Thomas, and Newley Road and De Carteret Road in Manchester. Minister with responsibility for works, Robert Morgan, says a team from the NWA, along with the necessary resources, have been deployed to clear blocked roads. Priority is being given to areas that require access by first responders.
In the general appraisal, we had about 15 roads blocked totally, 10 flooded. Minor road damage was about 2. We had about 7 single lane situations where there was only single lane access. And major, we had about 2 totally impassable roads. The approach of the National Works Agency whenever we have challenges like this is the first objective is to create access. And that is usually single lane access, which will give the opportunity of emergency services and residents in general to exit.
Minister Morgan says for major breakaways such as the one in rural St. Andrew, it will take some time to be addressed or for alternative solutions to be put in place. Meanwhile, Tropical Storm Raphael has also caused service disruptions to the National Water Commission (NWC) customers. The NWC says its systems have been impacted by heavy rainfall and power outages, which resulted in some customers being without water. High turbidity levels, landslides, and flooding also affected the Commission's ability to supply water to some customers. The entity says its emergency response teams are fully mobilized and are out in communities restoring water supplies where possible. Customers are urged to visit the NWC's website or social media pages for more updates. And the Met Office says a trough west of the island is being induced by an upgraded Hurricane Raphael, which is across the northwestern Caribbean. It's expected that the outer bands of the system will continue to affect the island, with occasional showers and thunderstorms across southern parishes and coastal areas. In other news, Minister of National Security Dr. Horace Chang has announced that the security forces are employing a multifaceted approach to combat crime in 5 key police divisions. During this morning's post-cabinet press briefing, Dr. Chang said recent multiple murders in Pleasant Heights, Cherry Tree Lane and Bowens Road highlighted the need for intensified efforts in these divisions.
They involve St. James, which is down by 32%, Westmoreland down by 12%, Clarendon down by 39%, Kingston West is down by 30%. There have been dramatic reduction there by virtue of the increased police activity and deployment and intelligence work in these areas. And of course, St. Andrew South, which is down by 14%.
Dr. Chang attributed crime in these divisions largely to gang activity, emphasizing the government's commitment to dismantling organized crime networks across the country.
Our intelligence has identified just under 230 such persons of high priority. They have been prioritized for investigation, and so far, 90 of them are wanted for murders and other major crimes, and are being pursued by our fugitive apprehension teams across the country.
The Security Minister reports that from January 1 to November 4, there has been an overall reduction in major crimes by 15%. Murders have decreased by 19%, shootings by 9%, rapes by 20%, and robberies by 21%. August to November 2024 has recorded the lowest crime numbers in 5 years when compared to the same period in previous years. Minister of Justice Delroy Chuck is encouraging judges across the country to make use of the ministry's alternative justice services. Speaking at a recent Child Justice Guidelines training seminar in Trelawney, Minister Chuck emphasized that these services had the potential to alleviate the burden on the courts. He urged that both witnesses and the accused should be referred to these programs.
We have not only restorative justice, we have child diversion, victim services, and mediation, because these are matters which will help not only to ease your burden, but can transform lives if people take on these alternative services and repair the problems that they have with one another.
And finally, the Electoral Office of Jamaica, EOJ, received nominations of candidates for the by-elections in 4 divisions today. Nominations were cast for Dwayne Smith as Member of Parliament for St. Andrew Northwestern and Marissa Dalrymple Philibert for Trelawney Southern. Councillors were also nominated for Anion Town in Clarendon Northern and Morant Bay in St. Thomas Eastern. All 4 by-elections are scheduled for November 22. And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Lisa Rowe. Thanks for watching.